I just want to say how much I respect your service, and I think we all do, regardless of the demanding and tough questions that have been asked. We approach this as a collegial effort, working together with men and women who have devoted their lives to the service of our nation with extraordinary distinction and bravery. That goes for you and all who serve with you. And I just want to begin with my profound thanks for your service. Admiral, I want to talk a little bit about submarines. I know that we are moving toward building 2 submarines a year, Virginia class. In your testimony, you briefly note your concern for the future shortfall in our attack submarines. What is the Navy's strategy to deal with that shortfall when the desired 48-boat minimum in 2025 reaches a low point in 2029 of 41, potentially placing our nation in jeopardy? Do we have a strategy to address that shortfall?
Sure, we do. First, that shortfall highlights sort of a fundamental element of shipbuilding plans, which is that you've got to think long-term. And some of these things are very difficult to correct in the short term. It just takes time to build submarines and their capital investments as well. But we are building 2 per year. We're going to continue to do that. And we're also going to look to every possible way to extend the life of the current Los Angeles-class submarines that are carrying much of the burden today so that we can fill in that trough as much as possible. We're examining the feasibility of we are building 2 Virginia-class submarines a year. We're going to examine continuing that as we bring the Ohio replacement program online, particularly in the year 2021. And if you put that submarine in place, it actually starts to fill in, a good percentage of that trough. And so then we'll look forward to more creative deployment options so that we get more out of every submarine. And we'll use all of these methods together to try and minimize the effect of that trough. But we're not going to be able to erase it.
Your point about the importance of planning, I think, is profoundly important, little understood by the American people, who often think we can snap our fingers and turn on the spigot for submarines, but we know, and so do the dedicated men and women at Electric Boat in Groton, that planning also requires investment in skill training, and the defense industrial base that consists of those men and women who in many ways are as vital as the men and women in uniform, because they build the platforms, the submarines, who make our projection of power possible around the world. Would you agree?
I would completely agree. And in terms of their talent and the skill level, I wish we could take every American through that facility up at Electric Boat, and the same down in all of our shipbuilding facilities, just to see what America can do when it puts its mind to it. It's stunning. But as we ramp up to build Ohio replacement, the biggest challenge is the workforce and bringing those skilled laborers on. And so I agree with you 100%. It is a team effort, and it's a tough job.
Well, I hope you'll come back. I've been privileged to go through Electric Boat with you. I know Senator Reid has on many occasions as well. And this investment, it's not spending, it's investment in our future, I think is really vital. Likewise, General Milley, on the Blackhawks, as you know, the National Commission on the Future of the Army issued aviation recommendations earlier this year, and these recommendations create some budgetary tension with the aviation restructure initiative the Army proposed in 2014. I'm concerned that the planned UH-60 Blackhawk procurement, which is a vital modernization initiative for the active Army and National Guard across the nation, will be reduced to pay for other programs as you move forward with the Army Aviation fiscal year 18-22 budget. Are revisions being made to assure that future aviation modernization plans will be sustained in light of the Commission's recommendation?
Aviation is one of our top priorities. It's one of the ones I mentioned in my own opening statement, Senator, and absolutely, we're committed to improving the modernization, and we've got several initiatives underway. With respect to the National Commission, we have put some of the aviation requirements into the UFR, into the unfinanced requirement list. Others we're funding. So we think the Commission did great work, and we intend to implement their recommendation to the extent we can.
Thanks.